Hey, beautiful. I'm going to kick this video off with a moment of gratitude. I am grateful to God, of course, for life and breath. Those of you that have followed me for a while know that once upon a time I was an oxygen patient. I had to be on a ventilator far before we knew what a COVID was and the pandemic hit. And so I'm thankful for life and breath. But you know what else? I am thankful for you. Thank you for taking the time to not just scroll by, but to listen to what your girl has to say. So thank you, and thank you again. I am grateful for your time and attention, and I'm going to be extra grateful if you would do those few things for me, which is like, comment, and subscribe. Do that for me. And also, don't forget, you always can share this. I love if you want to share this with your good sis or your bro and be a blessing to them. So, first of all, y'all know that I'm a preacher. Second of all, y'all know that I am long winded. Third, y'all know that I am ghetto. I am these things and I make no bones about it. I am who I am and I'm okay with that. I say that because this is my second time shooting this, and even at the time of the recording, I still don't quite know what I'm going to title this video. I don't know if it's going to be under unsolicited advice from your sis or what, but I absolutely have to share this. God ushers me into places where it causes me to do research. Most of the time, it is research in here where I have to trace a thought, a feeling, a behavior, a response. It's just like, wait a minute, where did that come from? Wait a minute, why are you like that, God? What does that mean? God, is this something I need to allow you to cut away in the Holy Ghost? Or is this still needful and useful? Can I keep this? Is this okay? Like, I'm always doing that kind of research, that self inventory and personal purging, right? That reorganization, that realignment type of stuff, that soul work that I'm a total geek about. And that's what the channel is also all about, just to be thought provoking, but also encouraging, enlightening, and all of the things. Um, but Bethel spot is what we're going to talk about in a moment. But follow me as I get us there. So, in researching what Bethel spot is, what it means, and where it comes from, my pastor uses that a lot. And the context clues that he uses and sermons that he's preached, I had a surface level understanding of what that was. I recognized it as a place of peace and a place of worship, but I didn't more fully or well rounded grasp what that meant before this week. And let me tell you how, let me tell you why. So, listen, there will be takeaways for you. Y'all know I pull the curtain back on my life. So, it'll be a mirror. I want you to look at your life, look at your experience, and I want you to talk to God, talk to yourself, talk to your journal about what does this mean for you? What do you need to change and adjust to get better, closer, deeper, fuller, brighter, and more brilliant in God, right? So Bethel spot. So let me tell you something about my home. I am beyond grateful to God for blessing us with a beautiful, brand new home. It was a dream to be in a new construction home, to call a place of my own that no one else has ever lived here before. We don't have roommates. We don't have caregiver responsibilities. It's just me, Mr. Bolding, and the puppies. And it's beautiful. It's fairly spacious. Your girl has a lot of stuff, right? Okay. She writes, she reads, she ministers, she dresses. So she has a lot of stuff. But, um, all things taken, it's still spacious, right? But that's not the best part. I have three favorite spaces here at home. My number one favorite place in the whole wide world is in my bed. I have a beautiful California king that I can lay and luxuriate, and it makes me happy. I love it. I love it a lot. But then I have two more favorite places right here in this house, and these are my two bathtubs, right? I have one that's a little wider. It's kind of, I guess you want to say, on the spa side a little bit. It's shaped different or whatever. There's no shower. It's a tub um in and of itself, and I love being able to run a tub full of hot water to get in there, to soak, to sit back and enjoy myself. Now, in my other bathroom, that's a standard tub. It has a shower, and that tub actually is a little slimmer, but it's a little longer, and so that accommodates my long legs. And so I actually have a little more room lengthwise in the front bathroom, which is my preferred bathroom, but it's also the guest bathroom. It's the one up front. And so let me tell you about these two spots and what God told me about a Bethel spot just this week. He had to gather me a little bit. And it's just like, okay, God, you know, that stuff that kind of flies under the radar, that stuff that you get into or get out of. And God is like, come back here and get yourself together. And I'm like, okay, God. So this front bathroom, which is right outside of that door, it's directly across from my home office. It's my favorite bathroom, okay? It's the one that I had. Well, both of them are decorated nicely, but I've taken extra care with this one because, again, that's where the guests will come. So the napkins in there are really pretty. The thing that holds the napkins is extra cute. There are different wall hangings and all of the things. But a few months ago, I upgraded my curtain that's to my shower. And without getting into too much detail, I'm sharing you this, I'm telling you this for a reason. So just follow me. Bethel Spot. Keep that in mind, okay? And so I upgraded to a double rod for a certain curtain effect. So I have an outer double curtain and an inner an inner curtain, a second inner curtain. I gotta get my brain and my words together. A second inner curtain, and the effect that it has, it looks gorgeous in there. But to the point, check this out though. I set it up so pretty, and I love it how I feel. I love it when people walk in there and like, oh, T, this is so pretty. I love that. I'm like, thank you, thank you. I love that. To the point though that it was so pretty that I did not want it disturbed. I did not want anyone, including myself, to touch it. I wanted it just so. I don't want it shifted to the right or the left. And so that led it to be fashion over function. I made it so pretty that it was not good to be used because I did not even want myself moving that curtain out of the way, doing anything. So then I stopped using that tub, one of my favorite places in the house, because I wanted it to look a certain way. I didn't want to be jiggering with the curtain. I didn't want to have to even re-scrub the tub. I just wanted it clean and pretty and nice, not touched, not used. Are you following me? Okay, remember we're talking about Bethel Spot. Bethel Spot. So then the second place in the house. So now I've cut it in half, right? We're not talking about the bed because we know I'm going to get my sleep. I'm going to get the naps. I'm going to get my sleep at night. I'm going to get that. So the bed, that's on lock. We're not worried about that. But these two spots in the house have now become one. Excuse me. So now we're down to one spot. Now we're down to one spot. And so the one spot, then so we went fashion over function. And so that disqualified and removed, and for all intents and purposes, one spot. Then the second spot, okay, um, because God is doing something very different with my timing, my schedule, with the time that I spend with Him. He's requiring more of me. My mornings look very different. How I manage this household and the things that I do with those first parts of my day look very different. Where I see clients and how those appointments go look very different. And I'm spending more time with God, more stillness with Him. My whole day, my whole calendar looks so different. Okay, talking about timing and talking about Bethel spot. So then I started to say, well, there's only so much time in the day. We still have to sleep and rest. We still have to study. We'll still have to minister. We still have to work out. We still have to eat. We still have to do the things. So two other things that I began to shorten my time on. I began to I'm doing healthy choices and healthy eating anyway. So I realize that I'm not as intentional and mindful with my eating, as far as I'm just having quick. It's healthy. It's usually a quick salad, a quick soup. It's usually a quick lean chicken breast or tuna. It's something quick. But everything became where I can cut time, cut time, cut time, cut time. Are you following me? And so even that time that I normally would spend bathing and soaking, okay, sitting down in that big tub of hot water, taking the time to decompress and chill, that time got cut because it's only so much time in the day, and you have all this other stuff to do. So I began, whereas when we first moved in here, I could count on one hand how many times I was in either shower. It was all about the tubs, honey. It was all about the soak. It was all about the sitting down and luxuriating in that hot water. For months and months, I could count on one hand how many showers I took, literally. And I loved it. But now, close to 2 years later, follow me, I'm so time conscious because I'm not going to cut God's time. And if I can help it at all, I'm not going to cut my sleep time. So everything in the middle was getting cut, cut, cut. Again, that meal time was getting cut. It was, let me just do this. And then now the favorite spot time was getting cut. So I started to just shower. So now what went to, started off as two favorite spots besides bed, two favorite spots became one because we had fashion over function, but then it became none because we were so time conscious and having to shift things. Okay? So it was shower, 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 quick, quick, quick. Grab the sponge, grab the loofah, and be done. Get on out of here because we got to go to the next thing, whether the next thing was whether the next thing was nap, whether it was that quick salad or whether it was the what, but it was on to the next, on to the next. And it was just, y'all, this week, and I'm going to share just a little bit of this research in a second. It was just this week that God said, you need to get in the tub. No, He said, you haven't been in our spot. And I don't know if He said the word tub. I feel like He said bath. But it was very clear that He said our spot. And I was like, ooh. So that made me put an urgency on it. So no matter what was happening, I was like, nope, I need to get back in that tub. So I found myself back in the tub. Okay. And it wasn't this one. We still got fashion over function. So y'all pray for me. So we're going to deal with that. But we were back here in the wider but shorter tub in the master bathroom. And so when I got in that water this week, God said, Bethel spot. And I said, oh, God, what you say? I said, okay, I have a surface knowing of what that is. I know that's a place of peace, that's a place of worship. And God just settled in me that this is our spot. I meet you here. I need you here. And somebody said, but T, in the tub, yes. I'm telling you what God said to me. And I was like, oh. But then, so, I did this research, right? So we getting this together. I said, God, let me get a better understanding beyond context clues. Let me get a better understanding of what Bethel spot is. And I understand it. Let me, because now you have to listen to Bible study to get my view of the word understanding. I'm really trying to weed that out of my vocabulary so much. So not better understanding, but I want to get a better revelation. Hallelujah. Revelation. Because revelation brings peace. Understanding does not bring peace. Revelation does. So God, let me get a better revelation of what this Bethel spot means. Okay, and I done talked a whole lot, so I'm going to share this with you, and then I'm going to get out your way. Okay. And so a Bethel spot comes from the biblical story in Genesis chapter 28, verses 10 through 22, where Jacob, while fleeing from his brother Esau, stopped to rest for the night. He had a dream of a ladder reaching to heaven with angels going up and down. When he woke, he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. He named that place Bethel, which means house of God. And so I asked, what does that mean for a believer nowadays? What does that mean for me? So the Bethel spot is a place of physical encounter. Bethel was the location where Jacob experienced God's presence. It was marked as a sacred remembrance because Jacob put a memorial stone there, and it was also a turning point, a spiritual milestone. So God said to me that my tubs, my hot soaking, is a place that He meets me, that He speaks to me, and I cannot cut them out because of fashion. I cannot cut them out because of time, but He wants to have a divine encounter with me. He wants to have a place where He powerfully allows me to experience His presence and His guidance. He wants it to be a spiritual milestone for me, a moment when God speaks directly to me. I can hear Him speak to me, confirm me, direct me, and He wants it to be a place of remembrance, a physical marker where I can return in prayer and strengthen my faith. And I said, ooh, okay. So I want to, with that, encourage you not to value fashion over function, and not to value your time and to-do lists over your true worship. Get back to your Bethel spot. The old folks would say, take me back to the old landmark. Sis, bro, get back to your Bethel spot. That place of peace and worship, that place of encounter. Don't let life shut you out of your spot, of that place that God said is our spot. Okay? God bless you. Love you.